Hello guys, Cybershroom here with Gregorthegame, as today we're going to be giving our predictions and discuss about the possibility of a Nintendo Direct happening in January. Why is everyone suddenly talking about a Nintendo Direct in January? Well, it's with several factors. First of all, the main factor, the reason why I'm talking about it, it was about a month or two ago when EA released information regarding an indie game. I forget even what it's called. It was some platformer, and they had PR artwork with it, with mentionings of talk about the Switch version in January in a Nintendo presentation, and of course a Nintendo presentation leads to a Direct. Now, Greg and I, we have done a bunch of different collab videos, some on my channel, including Kingdom Hearts boss fights, what characters won Dragon Ball FighterZ, and we also have videos on his channel, including Mega Man 11, and what we just got done recording, our review of Dragon Ball Super episode 122. Greg, is there anything you want to say?
Yeah, sure. First of all, thanks again for having me on your channel. I enjoy doing these collabs with you. For doing the review with me for episode 122 of Dragon Ball Super. So, after you guys are done watching this, make sure you guys check out my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Gregorthegame, Gregor, Gregor, the game.
There will be a link in the description below.
And Cyber, thanks again for having me on the channel. And like I said, I always enjoy these collabs.
Alright, so the first thing I wanted us to talk about is, well, a pretty big leak. This just popped up about 2 days ago. Well, really, but by the time this comes up, 2 days ago, about a huge Nintendo Switch operating system leak, the rumored 5.0. Now, this was first uploaded to YouTube by, it kind of seems cheesy, but user NOA Tester 63, of course standing most likely for Nintendo of America Tester 63. You'll see it on screen. I'll have it playing up on screen. As you can see, he has a Nintendo Switch with some notable differences. Most likely a beta build demo system featuring a lot more features that are there's so many, and it just seems too good to be true. Like, I'm not saying this is fake or anything, but if it's fake, if he comes out like a few days before the director after and says, I just made it up, I gotta give my hat off to whoever this guy really was, because he must have put a lot of effort photoshopping this all together. But there's so many little menus and, you know, like, honest things you could expect to happen with the Switch that it's like very hard to call fake.
Talking about is the one we were talking about yesterday, correct?
Yeah.
I can't see what you have up on your screen right now, but yeah, from what I've seen, I can't tell. I can't put my finger on if it's real or fake. I'm leaning towards it's real. I just think it's a beta. I honestly think that, because it looks like it's more, well, it is too good to be true. It would be very nice. The folders thing would be awesome, which is long overdue. They had it on the Wii U. I really, really think it's real, though, because fake this, because it just looks too real. For me, I mean, it just looks too real, but it looks like a beta. Now, also, the developers' kits also have a higher system storage tel units. I think they have double the capacity. I think they're 64 gigabyte, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. There's one thing about storage I would want to bring up later in this. That's kind of interesting. That might actually potentially disprove it as. Yeah. There's one thing regarding about storage when we get there that I would want to talk about that might prove it to be fake, but there could be several factors on how it can or can't, but we'll have to get there. So I'm going to pull up a live display capture that you guys will be able to see of, you know, like us going through and slowing down the video, pausing it. Greg, I hope you can see my screen correctly, can you?
I could see it now. Yep, I can see it perfectly.
So we're gonna start from this. We're gonna start right here, and most interesting, we already got a lot of differences. First of all, huge difference. It's not the anime streaming services. It's this little thing right here. This is presumably the internet browser. Now the internet browser is already in the Switch, and there's a few methods you can pull off to actually pull it up, but it involves you it involves like connecting to a Wi-Fi that requires you to log in. Like for example, if you go to a hotel or something, and that's one of the ways you get access to the browser. But this icon, presumably, you won't have to do that method anymore. You just click that and it'll bring up like a keyboard or something, similar to how it was in the Wii U. And I have high hopes for the browser. I haven't checked it out for myself, because Nintendo surprisingly did a really good job of the Wii browser and the Wii U browser. People regard the Wii U browser as like the best browsing consoles can get. And that's probably because of the Wii U tablet and the stylus.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Feature, it definitely would be a nice feature to have the browser, but for me, in my opinion, I think everybody has phones nowadays that use phones. So to me, it wouldn't be that big of a deal if it had a browser. While that being said, it would be nice to just add it, just to add it, because kids don't really have phones at the same time. But for adults like like me, or like I think mostly everybody has phones. So for me, the browser wouldn't be really too useful. But for kids, I could definitely see kids having a big use for it. So it'd be great for kids.
Well, I mean, even though we do have phones, I think it would be nice. Like, for example, if you're playing a game like Super Mario Odyssey and you're stuck somewhere, you're looking for a star, and let's say your phone's on the counter and you don't want to get up, boom, you just go to the web browser. Small stuff like that, I see it being helpful. So,
yeah, I can see that if your phone's on the charger too or something.
Yeah.
I could see that point of view.
So right here we have the actual pretty big thing is YouTube, Hulu. Well, actually Hulu isn't new. Hulu's on the eShop right now. You could download it. YouTube, Twitch, and Crunchyroll all have apps on the Switch operating system. Now, it was honestly surprising that the Switch didn't get YouTube, at least YouTube, as an application at launch. You would think Nintendo would have reached out ahead of time. And I think that was even commented on by the people who like programmed the home console ports to Netflix and stuff. They were surprised Nintendo never went up to them and had them prepare that for launch. But it's here. Now you guys wonder why they would all be grouped in one game slot. And that's not because when I first saw this, I and probably many people thought that they bundled all the media apps into one selectable menu. But actually, if we go forward, that's actually not the case, as you could sort games and even put them in folders, similar to what the Wii U and the 3DS did. You can even sort them now by last played, most played, alphabetically, or custom. Let's see what else it had. Let's see. Right there, the folder icon obviously stayed as media. So I imagine you'd be able to create these as much as you want, and it's pretty snazzy looking. Instead, like on the Wii U, when you made folders, they would just have an image. They would just have like a generic folder image, and have like a letter on this. I like how with this they bundle all the games into one neat little square with the little white lines. It'll be interesting how many you could potentially put into a folder and how it would look. Like maybe if you put 8, it would just be 8 smaller squares, or it would just become one big square, or it would just stay the 4 squares of like the most played games within the folder. Folders are really helpful because I talked about this with Greg. For those who don't know, there's a company called Hamster that ports a lot of Neo Geo and a bunch of arcade titles to various consoles like Xbox One, PS4, and Nintendo Switch. I have owned some of their ports like King of Fighters in 1998 or Metal Slug 3, and I'm going to plan on keep supporting them with their arcade ports because they're porting over some Nintendo classics like Super Mario Bros. Versus or Mario Bros. But they have stated by the end of 2018 they're going to have 800 arcade ports across all platforms. So it'll be best to put them in a folder. Also have an external hard drive because 800 games is not going to fit on your Switch. Have an external hard drive and keep them all in one folder because that would really make the Switch's layout very messy personally. Just having like trying to look for one game and it's lost within all these arcade ports.
You have to go all the way to the right hand side, click on all games.
That would make it actually worse. Because just rows and rows of nothing but arcade ports.
I don't even think they're in alphabetical order in that menu yet either.
I don't think so either. So right here is the add to folder. You guys can create a new one.
Real quick, if you could see on the very bottom there, add to virtual console folder.
I'm betting to believe that was a manually created one. But that also means on these test builds that there probably is like a few virtual console, presumably NES and SNES games. But we never see any of that here, sadly.
Well, and that's the thing with the Direct coming up and all that stuff. I do think they're going to be announcing the virtual console titles. So if this really is legit, I would be so happy because I've been waiting for virtual console for so long.
I think everyone really has because of the fact of taking these on the go. Like the 3DS had virtual console, but I think everybody's excited for the Switch virtual console because of course you can take the Joy-Con sideways and then you got two controllers and you can play like so many SNES games on the go. I feel like Nintendo had the virtual console done even before the Switch launched, but they decided to keep it kept away because the NES and SNES minis, they didn't. Maybe that could have interfered with sales potentially.
It could have. I'm still hoping for an N64 mini too.
Yeah, I imagine that's still going to happen because people buy those up like hotcakes. Like I'm a fan of my SNES mini. I reviewed it and it was a good product. But that's the thing too. Virtual console wise, it's gonna be cool when they announce, hey, we're gonna be putting NES and SNES games on the Nintendo Switch. But I want them to go a step further. Now I know this won't happen, but my dream would be that they announce, hey, we took all of the virtual console games off the Wii U and it's already on the Switch available for download, including N64 and potentially Wii virtual console, because the Switch does have a Wii mode where there's a Switch game, a Wii port called World of Goo that has a Wii mode where you can point it at the tablet and it acts like a Wii cursor. So the possibility of portable Wii games would be like really amazing, like Animal Crossing City Folk on the go, Smash Bros. Brawl.
Going back to virtual console, for me, it was very confusing with the way they did it. Well, first of all, when the Wii came out in 2006, the virtual console was awesome. I loved it. I think I bought every title on day one that was available, including Genesis games and all that stuff. Porting it over to the Wii U was very tedious, the way it was done. However, you could upgrade your games for like $1 fee for the NES, $1.50 for Super NES, $2 for N64.
Now,
I didn't mind the price, but I don't want to pay for it again. So Nintendo, what they did was they condensed all your purchases for the new Nintendo ID. So if you go into your Nintendo ID, it actually tells you when you purchase the item, the product, the game rather, the date you purchased, whether it's 2014, 2012, what have you. That being said, I'm hoping, this is a big hope, that you don't have to buy these titles again.
Yeah, the transfer over to the new system. I would have.
I'm hoping.
That's what everyone hopes in reality. Because I'm not lying. I bought, when I count every copy of Kirby Adventure, I bought like 7 copies of Kirby Adventure across many systems.
Oh yeah, I rebought them on a 3DS also.
Yeah, it would certainly be amazing for Nintendo to do that, or because, like I said, it's linked to the Nintendo account. Maybe that could be like a part of a Nintendo Switch Ambassador program, similar to what the 3DS did. For early 3DS owners, they got like a special program where they got free Virtual Console games, and they even got exclusive GBA Virtual Console games that no other user could have got.
I was one of those first purchasers, and I got those games, and that was a very nice gesture by Nintendo to do that. I was very, very happy with that.
I sadly never had a Wi-Fi connection during that time. So I didn't even know of the Ambassador program.
Yeah, I still got the badge on my 3DS. It's like a little digital badge on the console. It's pretty funny.
What would be interesting? GameCube Virtual Consoles exclusive to Ambassador. Not like I'm saying like not the whole thing, but I'm saying, hey, we have Super Smash Bros. Melee and Mario Kart Double Dash because you people bought the Switch at launch. We're going to give those to you free, and they will be exclusive to you for a limited time.
That would be
people throwing money at the screen, like worthy.
My problem with that is that the Switch is very successful, so I don't think they're giving away anything for free.
Yeah, but I do see a price cut maybe coming in the future. Probably later towards 2018 or something. They come out with like a Switch that does not have the detachable Joy-Cons. Switch Lite.
Yeah, they could definitely do that, or like maybe like a bigger screen, a slightly bigger screen with like that, bigger storage or something.
Yes, a Switch XL. I can see that being possible. The only problem would be like it'll be very uncompatible with the smaller Joy-Cons, sadly. But then again, you can connect those wirelessly even without having to slide it into the dock or something.
And there was a rumor going around for a while that they were going to come out with a more powerful dock, which I could definitely see happening, which could increase the resolution. I could definitely see 100% happening.
I can see that happening. One more thing I want to talk about the Virtual Console is Nintendo has mentioned that they do have... Ooh, excuse me, they do have the possibility of playing NES and SNES games online. Now, I don't know if you know about this, but the Nintendo Online program that was supposed to start sometime this year is being delayed until December 2018. And now I'm betting it's because how well the Switch sold that they're just going to give another year free to everyone to celebrate how well the Switch has done. Like they're not. It might be that.
I did not know it was delayed till December. I did not know that.
Yeah, it was. They mentioned on the site it was delayed to now December 2018.
That's the first time I heard that. That's crazy. I did not know that because that was gonna be one of my guesses on the direct. We're gonna have more information on it. I was hoping for anyway, but I guess not now.
I think, like I said, I think one of the reasons I think is because how well the Switch did, but they're giving everyone a free year of online play. But also in the direct, today can talk about our next subject, online lounges. Now it's not, we don't see it completely in action, but what this is basically going to do is negate the smartphone app, and it's going to allow us to create rooms and talk to people over our Nintendo Switches, not only within games, but from the looks of it, as this guy shows, you would just be able to talk through the Switch, similar to like, I don't know if you, well, similar to like PSN or Xbox, how you just have it run in the background. Yeah. I absolutely love this, not only for the fact that there's proper voice chat, but it'll make like streaming easier instead of having everyone in a Discord call, like have them in an online lounge. Let me go back. There's a few details that we could go over if the video the buffering. Right here we get to see people on friend list. I'm guessing other testers. And the media cannot be played. So we're going to go back to just the thumbnail on screen. Thank you, comicbook.com. Anyhow.
They must have took it down again, huh? That just keeps getting taken down everywhere.
Yeah, probably. Well, I can just refresh it. Alright, so, yeah, there we go. Simple refresh.
I think there's definitely some legitimacy to this leak. I really do.
Yeah, unless, if it is turns out fake, yeah, this guy took a lot of time. But the more you look at it, it does seem very possible, but at the same time, it's just because, it's too much what people want, and it's Nintendo. They can be weird.
I gotta be fair, though, to say that Nintendo has been listening to fans more often than not lately. With certain things, I mean, they have. I mean, if you look from the Wii U to this system, it's way more what people wanted.
It's it's not anything. I feel like the Wii U turned out like it did because Nintendo was just getting kind of greedy. They were banking off the Wii's incredible success.
Yeah.
But they really pulled around with the Switch. In fact, the Switch was currently deemed 2 days ago the fastest selling console in US history, which is pretty impressive. In fact, in Japan,
1,000 units.
Yeah, in fact, in Japan, it has already outsold. It has sold more than the PlayStation 2 within its first year, and the PlayStation 2 is currently the most sold console of all time. And when you look at Switch sales figures, it's only like 1 million units away from outselling the Wii U within its first year, and that's really impressive.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I really, when I first seen this console, and I remember people were discounting it and saying, even my old friend Carlos, who I actually stopped talking to, he did about Nintendo. I got sick of it because he's an Xbox fanboy, and I just can't stand fanboys. I can't. And the hand on the Bible is the God's honest truth. The 3-minute preview, and all he said was, learn from their previous mistakes. Well, I gotta say, Carlos, I think that answer has been answered. I mean, if you look at this system right here, they're doing exactly, for the most part, I'd say about 75% of what people want. But he does what people want. But like, if you look at the things that they're doing with this progression of the system, I mean, think about this. Did you ever think you would have third-party AAA titles on the go like this? Like
Yeah, like
Skyrim,
you think
like
anyone would see like Doom, Skyrim, or Resident Evil on a Nintendo console?
Exactly, and what Carlos was referring to was motion controls. Now, you don't have to play with motion controls. You don't have to play.
Sure, there are some games, for example like ARMS, but then again, even ARMS has a regular controller function. Motion controls are not the focus of the Nintendo Switch. If anything, I think it's just an add-on to it, and either you use it or you don't use it.
Exactly. And there's multiple ways to play these games, whether if you use a little kickstand in the back, you hold it in your hand.
Which, to be honest, if they release a newer version of Switch, they need to get a different kickstand.
I gotta be honest, I never use the kickstand.
I use the Switch and portable a lot of friends when I go anywhere, and I have my gripes with it, but it's not terrible. I just want it improved. Maybe instead of just having the kickstand locked to one side, have it on 2 sides. Well, anyway, trying to get back on topic, like here we have the online lounge. You'll be able to create your own room, and presumably with the invitation list, people can send you, your friend list can send you rooms to join. I don't imagine you'd be able to join just a stranger's room. Maybe with a code, like maybe you have an option to generate a code, and anyone with that code could join.
But that's also another thing I was confused about. Are they completely doing away with friend codes here?
Don't see that. I see
Reggie did
potential. Like, friend suggestions leads me to believe that it might be gone. Like, you can use social media instead to send friend requests, like Super Mario Run.
Reggie did say that they're progressing towards that.
So maybe at launch they didn't have it ready, but now they do got it ready.
That's what I'm thinking, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah. So add friend, I'm presuming is basic friend codes. I imagine are gonna stay, but I imagine this is gonna be like the easier option that everyone wants to use. And then we got user settings down here. Don't know what would be in there, except maybe because you could connect your own mic to either of a switch through like the audio jack or for what this guy shows, the dock for USB. That's how I would do it. Maybe you could just configure your mic settings or something. And then we have messages, which I imagine that's like Xbox Live, PSN, where you could type out a message. Or maybe even potentially record yourself saying something and send it to a friend. Now right here, this is interesting. You can name your room if you really want to. I guess you can name it like streaming this game, Cyberstream's room or something. Now, this is a little detail. Now I mentioned you could play your Switch. You could do voice chat on the operating system no matter what game is being played. You have the option to specify, like right here we have ARMS, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Splatoon 2. Question is though, is it only gonna allow you to select games with voice chat, with multiplayer properties, or is it just gonna categorize all your games you have on there?
That's a good question, and I'm also wondering what this means for that app that they have. Is it just another way to chat?
Yeah, I'm thinking the app is just going to be a substitute if you do not have a mic to plug into the Switch. Because that's what I imagine what None's for. I imagine the games are just literally tags. Because you can even pick the game mode depending on what game. So I imagine not everyone would use it, but some like first party games would do it. And that's mostly just for detail. And then you have the option to use your smart device. People were... when I first saw this, I thought they were completely getting rid of the app, but no, they're just changing it so you can use the app as a mic if you don't have one, or you get use directly from the console, which I find that really cool.
That's what I've been wanting all along.
It really was. Splatoon 2, when it launched, people actually found out it has a LAN mode, and the LAN mode gave the option for voice chat. So I'm guessing this was in the system, but it was just inaccessible or wasn't finished.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking myself.
Alright.
To access that with the online, completely, the Nintendo Online service. So I'm thinking it's going to be all intertwined somehow.
So right here we have all the rest of the North American testers, 60, 67, 64, 69. So I'm guessing those are other people that have the beta development kit.
Which makes you wonder if this dude's fucked.
Yeah, he probably is. Like, I don't imagine you're able to change your account name or something. That's what he probably should have done. He should have
blurred out his name or something.
Blurred out the name or something. That's probably.
Look up top also real quick, where you see Mario up the top left. You see that microphone.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see that right there.
Which is pretty cool, man.
And I think he unplugs it, and then it goes away.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, see right there, he has a little USB thing that says not connected to microphone. The level of detail, like I said, if this is fake, it's a well done good fake. But
yeah, it's not. I don't think it's fake. I really don't.
I don't think it is either, but it could be a case like the Rayman leak for Smash 4, how a guy used like Photoshop and hacking and all that. If it turns out like that, I would be so upset because I don't feel like Nintendo... It's most likely real. It's like 99% real. But if it was fake, I feel like Nintendo would never be able to compete with it.
I agree. I really don't think it's fake at all. I don't. I think it's 100% legit.
Now this is interesting right here, the voice sharing. It says your voice will be included in video captures. So, the video capture right now only records 30 seconds, so maybe that will finally be unlocked. Like Nintendo's mentioned, they could do 5 minute, 10 minute, they could even unlock it and have no time limit.
I think they were waiting for YouTube to get on like the app.
And maybe directly upload it through the app.
Correct.
Yeah, even though we would still use our capture cards, it's still a good option. Like, it's kind of like recording for your PS4. It's just nice.
Option for people that, don't have capture cards and another option for you to record.
Yeah. And then we have microphone test and adjust audio. And then, right here, well, if I had something, I'll switch this cell phone device. Yeah, right here. This has his mic settings. You can exit the room by clicking the home button. or you can switch it over to the smart device like that. And let's see, end the room, and it'll disconnect. And then, I think he shows off system storage, yeah. Now this is the one thing that I'm honestly confused on.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're going.
Oh, so you know about... Okay, so I can pull back so all of you can see better. Let's see. I gotta go back further. Let's see.
There you go, right there.
Right here, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It has no cartridge symbol. So I have the Switch games downloaded on my system. So you would know this has to be installed. Because there's no cartridge system, there would be a white little box like with an X saying install the cartridge to play.
Yep.
So
even if the cartridge is not in the system, it's gonna be grayed out, like the little checkers.
Yeah. And Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is like 6 gigabytes.
Cloud storage on the right side there. That's another feature.
Yeah, that's a feature. I think that's already in Switches. Like you could call Nintendo support if you need help, and they can activate cloud storage. But I think this is the first time they're unlocking it for everyone. Like, you don't have to call in or anything. But, so, people are presuming where would Mario Kart 8 Deluxe be installed at. Because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is like, I think 8 gigabytes. And this is a standard Switch console. No storage has been used. So, presumably it has to be on the micro SD. Otherwise, it wouldn't fit. Like... There should be a lot more storage done. People would say it could be archived software, maybe. But even then, if it was archived software to the system memory, it'll be filled more than 23.9 gigabytes.
Yeah, and the developers kits, the Switch units for, I assume, Nintendo employees. Also, these Nintendo, you would assume they would have the 64 gigabyte consoles also. So. Even so, the line should be 9 gigabytes left. That should be at least halfway, that black bar. But so the only option would be Mario Kart would have to be on that SD card.
Definitely. And then the cloud storage, I don't really know what people would use cloud storage for. Maybe for saved games, or maybe if they had to, they would, like, you know, upload the virtual console games to the cloud, because maybe they didn't want those thrown up. But noticeably, only 1.1 gigabytes have been used, so maybe you only get 2 gigabytes of free cloud storage, and maybe you have to pay for more, similar to like what Apple does. You have to like pay monthly for it.
Yeah, it seems like that's what it could be.
I recommend you people watching this just buy an SD card. The cloud storage would be nice, like, to back up all your data on. Let's say you and your friend are swearing a Switch console, you need to transfer your saves over to the new one, if that's even possible.
Cards, they were just on sale, 128 gigabyte. I bought a second one. I got it for $30 on sale. It was a Samsung, I think it was, or a SanDisk. It was one of those. It was on sale for $30 for the SDXC, the newer ones.
Nice.
So it was on sale for $30. So they're going on sale. So just keep your eye out for it, because they are going on sale for a great price. Just keep your eye out for it, because last year they were over $200 for that type of gigabyte. So just keep your eyes peeled for those.
So the last thing we have is the system settings for the theme shop. Now the Switch already has the option for themes if you go into the menu system settings, but they only have the white and black option available. Apparently, in this update that is supposed to be coming February, that he said will be mentioned in the Direct, you'll be able to finally buy themes similar to what the 3DS has. I'm surprised the Wii U never got themes. I'm guessing it would have been harder because you had that whole plaza going on with the Mii's.
Yeah.
But with
I remember 3DS got themes. I was like, what's that going to be like? I don't know. What's that going to be like? And when I seen it in person, I was really blown away, especially with the Majora's Mask theme.
Yeah,
I loved it. When it plays the song Healing, it was just like awesome. So I'm hoping teams do the same exact thing on this.
It looks like they do the same exact thing. The only thing is, however, they have the Breath of the Wild theme, well, the background for it, but no sound is coming out of it. So either the TV is just muted, very quiet.
Yeah, but the thing was that you could hear the sound like when he's switching the icons.
True. So I don't know if maybe this is just a beta theme and Nintendo just, because it kind of just looks like a blurry JPEG. That also might be a count of quality. This might just be a test theme, and then the actual theme would have the song from Breath of the Wild.
I think that background looks amazing though.
It still really does look amazing.
Yeah.
Alright, so this was all the coverage of the Switch rumor. What is even the video count right now? Wow, we're already half hour and we haven't even gave our predictions, so we'll kind of strike through our predictions very fast. I didn't expect this leak to go as it did. Like, I didn't expect it to go as long as us talking about it, but we did kind of an in-depth. It's way too good to be true, but it seems very possible.
Yeah, I feel like we learned more.
We did.
First went into it, and I know I did.
Yeah, going through and talking about it quietly. I want to bring, well, talking about it more in depth. I want to bring up one more thing quick. For the Twitch and YouTube app, especially Twitch, I hope that you'll be able to watch live streams, and maybe on the side it has a chat box that you can type into with the Switch keyboard or something. I think that'd be a pretty neat thing. Okay, so the way we're going to do this, we're just going to basically talk about, we'll go back and forth. Let's say 4 things we want to see in the Nintendo Direct. 4 kind of seems low, but we might have similar things we want to see for January. So I'll give off mine first. It's a pretty obvious one, but I would say we're going to see a trailer for Bayonetta 3, like an actual gameplay cinematic trailer. Now, Bayonetta 3, Metroid Prime 4, Kirby Star Allies, and Yoshi have been mentioned by Nintendo of no way. In fact, I'll have the tweet up, and I'll send you the tweet over Discord, where they mention all these titles are going to be coming in 2018, so presumably they must have done a lot of work on Bayonetta 3 before the Switch even came out, you know. They probably called them ahead of time and said, hey, we have this system, and we need games for it. So, Metroid Prime 4, we have seen surprisingly less of. You know, Bayonetta 3, we had a small Game Awards trailer, and mentioning that it was coming sometime, but I was expecting Metroid Prime 4 maybe to be a 2019 title, frankly, because all we got was an image.
Yeah, I agree. I thought the same thing. I thought the same exact thing. I didn't think it would be coming in 2018. That's surprising. Same with Bayonetta 3. I really did not expect that. I 1 and 2, obviously they announced for February, which, shit, that's almost a couple weeks away. I better get my pre-order on it because I forgot about that.
Yeah, that'd be the first time of me diving into the Bayonetta series completely. Like, I played a little bit of 1, but this would be the first time I'd be like, actually sit down and fully enjoy it. Kirby Star Allies and Yoshi, I am really expecting for 2018. Mostly Kirby more, because from the little bit we've seen from it from trailers, the last trailer from the last Direct, it did look pretty far in development. If anything, it looks like a sequel to Kirby's Return to Dreamland, a pretty good Wii title. Shares a lot of similarities, and with Kirby Superstar, of controlling enemies or partners.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna pick that one up.
I'm a casual fan to the Kirby series. The best one I personally think is Kirby's Adventure on the NES, but
I mean, I love Kirby Superstar. But
yeah, Kirby Superstar is pretty fun. Return to Dreamland, if you haven't tried it out, it's on the Wii U. The Wii U Virtual Console for the Wii selection.
I had that also.
I enjoyed it. It was a very fun multiplayer title. I just want to know how much Star Allies is going to do to differentiate itself, because, like I said, it just kind of looks like a Return to Dreamland 2. It's going to probably be fun, but I haven't really seen nothing. I haven't really seen nothing new that we haven't seen for the Kirby series before. Yoshi's one cardboard game that we saw. It's still called Yoshi, which I think is a bland name. We've gotten a gameplay trailer for, and It looks okay. It looks like Kirby's Woolly World, not Kirby, Yoshi's Woolly World 2, but of cardboard. And I didn't finish Woolly World. I rented it a few times, and I just kind of put it down because I thought this was kind of meh. I do like how it looked though. Like, it's running on Unreal Engine 4.
That one up either. I probably will for my kid, but I gotta see more, you know? I gotta see more of it.
Yeah, so what's your first prediction for the Direct?
My prediction? Yeah, well, I really think we're going to hear more about the online service. I really do. I do not see it being delayed to December. I just don't see that happening. I know they supposedly delayed the 64 gigabyte cartridges. I don't know why. Maybe there was too much of a demand for them, maybe. But I really think we're going to hear more about the online service with the virtual console. There's supposed to be certain games are supposed to be multiplayer. Whether they're different games from the virtual console themselves, or they add that into the virtual console for certain games, they didn't specify. So
I don't feel like it'll be for all games. I feel like that would take too long. And if anything, that would just
Brothers 3 and a couple other games, but
like Dr. Mario, I see being possible.
yes, they did. They confirmed that one also, but they never specified if it's virtual console. But then they said it was, so it's confusing. Like, is there going to be Super Mario Brothers 3 games, or is there going to be one that's online and then one that's console? You know what I mean?
The way I can see it working out is, Nintendo releases. It would just be a regular virtual console release. Not all of them obviously will get tested and have online multiplayer, but the popular ones will, and you'll be able to send requests to play with only your friends. I don't see you being able to play with strangers through virtual console. That would get me excited though, if how we discussed earlier, if they just said, hey, we're going to port all the Wii U virtual consoles to the Switch day one, go buy them. If they would add online multiplayer to the Mario Party series, specifically the Mario Party Trilogy 1, 2, and 3. I feel like that'd be the best way to demonstrate virtual console online.
And with that being said, I think any Mario game should be online. They should have that ability to go online with friends.
Yeah, like
'cause I don't think it would be fun with a random person you know anyway. You don't know. You know what I mean? I don't think it would be as fun. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a Mario game you play with a friend. You know? Does that make sense? I don't think you picking up a controller and randomly going online with some other person that not knowing playing a Mario game.
Well, go ahead. Well, another neat demonstration for what the virtual console could be done. For example, if we get a Wii virtual console, New Super Mario Bros. Wii online multiplayer. That New Super Mario Bros. Online multiplayer has been requested for years. I'm surprised Nintendo never managed to pick up on it. Sure, you'd still be fighting over the camera, but it would still be a neat thing to play over. It would be a neat thing to play online with friends, especially with the online lounge and voice chat.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And well, another thing, going back to the virtual console, is I think we're going to hear about GameCube Virtual Console, because the GameCube controllers just became compatible.
Yeah,
and
but
Nintendo said that they didn't really mean to activate that or some excuse, but I really think we're going to hear about GameCube Virtual Console Virtual Console games sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I think they had it figured. I think what they mean by, oh, we didn't intend to unlock that, they had the feature there, they just unlocked it on accidentally. It isn't like they accidentally created it, they accidentally unlocked it.
Oh, it's coming, right? I think everybody knows it's coming.
Like, people have been craving for Melee HD. The question is though, how much you think GameCube Virtual Console games would be? Honestly, I think they would be like how much the Wii games cost, and be around $15 to $20 each, which is kind of an understandable price. Like, a copy of Melee goes for like $40 now, same with Mario Kart Double Dash.
Yeah, I could definitely see them $20.
Yeah.
I could see them between if N64 games are still $10, that would have to be more than that, so I would say it would hover between $15.
But speaking of,
they should lower the N64 games to about $8.
but that's something I've thought to bring up. But regarding prices, if some games have online play, let's say Super Mario Bros. 3, I can see that still just being a regular virtual console game. But the ones with online play might get like that Earthbound tax. It might be $3 more. Like Super Mario Bros. 3, well, let's say it would be like $11. Like, what I mean by Earthbound tax, you know how Earthbound on virtual console is always like $2 more than a regular SNES game? Same with like Earthbound Beginnings.
I was one of those people helping Starman.net petition for that. I was helping them send emails, call PK, the PK line, the 1-800-PK, whatever, PK call-in.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was called. We would call in all the time. Like,
you think that would be a game they would show off when they first reveal Virtual Console? Mother 3 English translation.
And supposedly that's already done. Supposedly, according to Emily Rogers. I don't know if you noticed any of her information, but she's pretty reliable with leaks. Even she was the first one to uncover the Rabbids Mario Kingdom battle, and she had a lot of information, including Mother 3 information. I think it was supposed to be announced at E3, never came. Then it was supposed to be in a direct with the Virtual Console, never came. So the Virtual Console's obviously not here yet, so they're obviously waiting for the right time. Virtual Console. This direct, I think, is the way to do it. I hope they do it.
I feel like they had it. I feel like they had Mother 3 ready since the Wii U. Ever since that one Robot Chicken Nintendo sketch, where you had the guy screaming
Yes.
Mother 3, because shortly after Mother 3 came out in Japan, like on the Wii U Virtual Console, you can buy Mother 3 there on Japanese systems. So I feel like,
a fireball.
yeah, that was a really cool sketch when.
It was very, very, very funny.
It was. Now, I feel like they had it done, but because the Wii U was having poor sales, and they obviously was starting to develop the Switch, I imagine they just say, hey, we have this done, but let's keep it for the next console to get people to try to buy it there. Because they know people buy the system. There are probably Earthbound fans out there that have not bought a Switch will buy the Switch for official Mother 3 translation. Question is, though, how will it compare to the fan translation? Will it be a direct translation? Will they buy the fan translation like the fans mentioned they would give them it? Or would it be like a watered down censored version?
Funny. Well, I guess like more of like a interesting tie-in, because the guy that did the fan translation, his nickname was Tomato, and on the Starman.net site, and his real name's Clyde Mandolin. Thing is that he actually worked for Funimation to translate the original Dragon Ball series to DVD. So it's pretty cool that he has a tie-in with translating. So I'm hoping translation, supposedly, I'm hoping that Nintendo can see his work, with a pretty big anime like Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball, because Stephen J. Simmons did DBZ, but the original Dragon Ball was done by Clyde Mandolin, Tomato from Starman.net. So I'm hoping Nintendo does see his work, and they give him the proper tools and proper pay to do a fan translation, because he's a big fan of the series. So it'd be cool to get a fan to put his passion into this, the translation, the official translation.
Definitely. Or if even Nintendo really wants to milk the money out of it, they could do a digital collection of, let's say, Earthbound Beginnings, Earthbound, and Mother 3. So there was one Wii homebrew channel that I used to have on one of my hacked Wiis that had that channel. It was like a fan collection of the 3 games with a neat little menu. I would love to see something like that. I'll have it up on screen for those who don't know what I'm talking about. So moving on to the next prediction, I would say it's going to be a trailer for DLC for Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Mostly because a few days ago on the Japanese eShop, there was new DLC available for pre-purchase for Mario Plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle Season Pass regarding story. Now, Mario Plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle has already had some DLC regarding new challenges and a free versus mode. That was a surprise that that came out. But I played Mario Plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I reviewed it. I put it down because after the review, I got further in the game and suddenly there was an out of nowhere difficulty spike, and it kind of made the game unfun. But I'll probably come back to it if this DLC is any good. If I had to give ideas regarding what this DLC could have been, I want to say there might be 2 new playable characters. Now, personally, I would want to see Donkey Kong and Bowser be playable characters with maybe a Rabbit version. But since there's already a Rabbit boss version of Donkey Kong in there, I would say it would probably be Bowser. Maybe like, since it's story DLC, it would take place after the main game. Maybe Bowser becomes a playable character and a new villain arrives. Have you played Mario Plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle?
Have it? I mean, yes, I have. I have the game, but I have not finished it yet. I've just been, with the new baby, it's been tough to actually comes out. But I do like it, and I haven't. I think I'm on the 3rd world, I want to say.
Yeah, the 3rd world is where I got that difficulty spike from. I feel like it was unjustified. It got really hard out of nowhere.
Yeah, from what? Because my kid was playing for a while, and he was having trouble with the one part. I think it's the 3rd world.
Yeah, because it induced a lot of enemies that could like teleport and stuff, and it involved a lot of grinding. But yeah, I expect us to get a trailer for story DLC, being maybe even a release date too, since it seems to already be on the Japanese eShop, ready for pre-purchase.
I could see that happening. I
Yeah.
could definitely see that happening. For me, I could see that I'd see more third-party support being announced, and 2 release data for the Switch, or the new Colossus, or just more information on it or something. I'm not sure if the release date was officially announced yet. I don't believe it was. I know it was officially announced. Third-party games announced. More stuff shown from third parties. Bayonetta 3 is exclusive to the Switch, so that includes that, obviously.
Yeah.
They're gonna get some, hopefully some new Mega Man 11 footage. That would be awesome.
Yeah, like Mega Man has had a lot of game. There's a grand majority of Mega Man titles, especially the classic series on Nintendo consoles. So it'll be fitting to see another trailer for it. Also, with possibility we might see some indie games, like an indie game break, how they always have them, showing up for a few seconds.
Speaking of indie games, did you notice how many indie games are getting physical releases on the Nintendo Switch, like with instruction manuals and all that stuff? I feel like they're being taken care of very properly. Like, very cool what they're doing.
Yeah, I saw Cape Story got a physical release too. I haven't played Cape Story yet, but I have a friend who really recommends it.
I got that. Axiom Verge came with like a bunch of stuff, like a soundtrack and all this stuff. Little Dude 2, Tiny Barbarian, stuff like that. Like little releases. Wonder Boy. The Dragon's Curse, I think it's called.
I would like to see Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley recently came out on the Switch. I would love to see that get a physical edition. That was on a surprise. If any of you are a fan of the classic Harvest Moon games and a little bit of Final Fantasy, pick up Stardew Valley. It's like $15.
The coolest thing about these physical releases is they come with something like a keychain inside or whatever, but they also come with an instruction manual, just like the original NES or the Game Boy. It's really cool. They're full color manuals, just like the another one's Binding of Isaac. Binding of Isaac has a full color manual. Came with like stickers inside. There's little tidbits additionally to the game itself inside. Because I like physical copies myself, so it's really cool to see that. But
Yeah,
I guess I would have to say is I would say that oh, wait, is it your turn? Your turn. I just gave the,
Nah, I was just gonna finish off that with saying I'm just really surprised at how many companies are jumping on board to get the Nintendo Switch some well-needed third-party support. Like, for example, Bethesda, who would ever seen Skyrim and Doom on the Switch. In fact, I expect maybe a Fallout 4 mention. I can see that easily getting a trailer, a Fallout 4 edition for the Nintendo Switch. I have fans who are very big Bethesda fans. And in terms of Rockstar, maybe, no, I'm not saying it'll happen in this direct, but maybe in 2018 we could get a Grand Theft Auto 5 port. You know, they re-released LA Noire, and I can view that as maybe being the testing ground to who would buy Rockstar games on the Nintendo Switch, and I heard that actually did pretty well for a port.
Yeah, that was actually going to be one of my next predictions. I was going to say Red Dead Redemption might be coming to Nintendo Switch. The original Red Dead Redemption.
Yes, as like a deluxe version or something.
I think the Switch could handle it since, you know, they obviously handled LA Noire, which is fucking crazy for a port.
Yeah, I've heard some people say the Switch version actually is potentially one of the better versions. That it ranks up with the Xbox One, PS4.
It's better than the PS3 version, which is crazy because the PS3 version was pretty damn good. And I played the original PS3 version back in 2011, and I have the Switch version. The Switch version is better than the PS3 version. As a freaking portable, that's insane. Like, you never would have seen that like a couple years ago. I don't know.
Yeah. If Nintendo just keeps it up and they're making money, we're going to see a bunch of. Eventually, personally, I would want to see cool it down with the ports and start releasing newer titles. But a lot of these companies are going to be releasing ports that are justified. Like, whenever people complain about all these third-party ports, or it's fine if they port them, because for several factors. First of all, that game was not on the previous Nintendo console. It'll be the first time a Nintendo fan is playing them. For example, my first time playing Skyrim fully, I played a little bit on PS3, but the Switch version, I've had a lot of fun with. That's why I'm really diving into it.
Leagues better above PS3 version. Leagues better. I played the PS3 version completely. The DLC didn't even work right. The game didn't even work right. It broke my original PS3 and my first Slim PS3. Two of them.
That sounds nice.
Dude, it just shows you how powerful this thing is. It just is a handheld. Skyrim even looks better on the Switch than it did on the PS3. It's crazy.
Yeah. So, last thing regarding third-party support for the Switch, Square. I don't care if you gotta cut the frame rate back down to 30 FPS like the older games, but Kingdom Hearts 3 on Nintendo Switch.
Dude, I was just gonna say
that would save me so much money from buying a PS4 just to play 3. I would lose it.
That was actually my next point. I could see him 100% bringing the original two games to the Nintendo Switch.
Kingdom Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5 plus 2.8, we swear it this time, final chapter prologue for the Nintendo Switch Deluxe Edition. That would be the title.
Switch Edition, yeah. Yeah, I could definitely see it coming to the Nintendo Switch. And Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 on a portable, hell yeah.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts has been a Nintendo handheld series for the longest time, minus Birth by Sleep. Other than that, all of the other handheld games have been on the Switch, and that would literally make everyone lose it if we got portable versions of 1 and 2. I don't even care if we don't give a frame rate buff. If they kept at the original 30 FPS, I'm okay with it. I would still love it.
Yeah, Birth by Sleep is definitely the best spin-off, I think, that they have, besides 2.8.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the sequel to Birth by Sleep. It kind of is intertwined with Birth by Sleep.
I just more view it as a demo.
It kind of adds to it's almost like an epilogue kind of.
Yeah.
To Birth by Sleep.
So, number 3, will be a Link Between Worlds HD remaster, and this is mostly because of a rumor that has came out in the last few days. See all these rumors coming out pointing towards this direct. Direct's probably going to happen. So apparently Nintendo PR has been sending emails out to multiple gaming sites asking them to reuse Link Between Worlds 3D quotes, like taglines for it, start to get them ready. One of the sites, like Mod Dojo, was one of the outlets contacted by Nintendo, but despite the company reaching out, they was not given any firm information besides Nintendo wants them to start reusing quotes. I never played Link Between Worlds, but people say it was an amazing game. So, and another factor was that Nintendo's already confirmed that they were working on the next Zelda. So the next Zelda easily could be a Link Between Worlds deluxe version or a remake version. And it'll be neat to finally see. I think this would be like actually the first time a home console, an HD home console 2D Zelda game. If I'm not wrong, this will be the first time. I think it'll be pretty neat. Easily could be a 2018 Christmas title, since it's just a port, they can easily get it out.
Definitely get that out easily.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that happening for sure.
Alright, so yeah, that was just a small mention. So what would your third thing be, even though I kind of stole it a while ago?
It's all good, man. I'll steal some of yours now. Piggybacking on the Link Between Worlds re-release HD, why not a bundle of the Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask 3DS versions? Just put it on the Switch. You could do like the N64 series or something in a dual pack.
Yeah, seeing how
that up,
people would easily eat that up, and seeing how Square ported over Kingdom Hearts 3DS to the PS4, I say it's possible they could port over Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask and make that work on the Nintendo Switch.
Sure. But I don't think they would package them because they probably would want to make as much money as possible, so they probably do 2 individual releases. But
well, I mean, when you could get both of them on the 3DS for about $20 each, I could see them doing a dual pack and charging $60 for 2. And they would be like basically upscaled versions. I could see them doing a dual pack like you mentioned.
See that, but then again, I couldn't because they probably would want to make as much money possible. That's the thing.
Yeah. It would be cool still.
Oh, yeah.
That would be a pretty good value.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but would I like it for it to happen? Hell yeah.
Potentially, they could just announce all 3 3DS Zelda titles in one bundle. That might be like if people come out saying they're asking to do Ocarina of Time quotes, maybe that's what they could be doing, a 3DS collection of Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, Link Between Worlds.
Yeah, re-releases or not, I'll tell you what, those are 3 incredible games that I would gladly buy every single one of those over again.
Definitely. Alright, so my final prediction, and this is just going to be not even a prediction. The other ones can be very logical and they have information to back them up. But the next one I want to say is Smash Brothers 4 Deluxe. It can still happen, guys. We just gotta believe. Regarding Smash 4 Deluxe, Nintendo has, with the Bayonetta ports, I believe Nintendo's not done announcing Wii U ports over. I still believe soon we're going to get Super Mario Maker. Probably not in this direct, but maybe a trailer eventually. I just want some type of tease for Smash Bros. Like you said, this is the most illogical one. I just would say everyone would flip tables as soon as they see a Flaming Smash logo just pop up for like 1 second and just the words 2019 or 2018, people would be happy.
Well, hey, this is the console that you could actually have 2, 3, and 4 with obviously new features in this version of the Wii U game, all in one system. If you think about it, it could fit every one of those games on this console.
Definitely, especially with Virtual Console wise, you could put all the Smash Bros. On there. At least something Smash Bros. Related I can see happening in this direct. Either Smash 4 Deluxe or Virtual Console Smash 64 is ported over, Melee's ported over, Brawl if they really want to get the Wii Virtual Console going.
Smash 4 Deluxe, I could definitely see them re-adding Ice Climbers.
Yeah, Ice Climbers would definitely be like the returning vet poster character, and we could maybe get
characters, obviously.
We maybe get Inkling as a first-party Nintendo character. We get maybe a third-party character, and then they'll say, "Oh, if the port sells well enough, we'll start doing DLC." And then they could do maybe a Smash pull for all the DLC characters.
Like another character like Tails or Knuckles, and then they could actually give Mega Man another character like Proto Man or Bass.
Potentially. If anything, I would want to see.
It would be a new character that because it would be because you don't want the character. You just don't want series just have the one character. You know what I mean? So if you add like more third parties, there would be more third party support for the console. I think it would make those brands happier, because if you think about it, Mega Man 11's coming out. I'm sure they would want more spotlight on their guys. It would make sense to add one of those type of characters. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sonic, I think they would always love that stuff, but it would depend on
I would
want the cost to add them.
For the first third-party character they would show off, however, I want it to be a character that would get people like really excited. I want to see like another Cloud reveal type character. So if anything, I would want to see a Mortal Kombat character be revealed for Smash Bros. I think that would get people excited. Like Scorpion or Sub-Zero being playable. I mean, we have Bayonetta, so it's possible.
Unfortunately, I don't think a Mortal Kombat guy would ever happen. But
I mean, who saw Bayonetta, a rated M character? Same with Solid Snake. Who would see Solid Snake in a Nintendo fighting game? Smash 4 basically proved anything is possible. Alright. Ryu, Pac-Man, Cloud, Final Fantasy VII. I think they don't care what the background is. Anybody, as long as it's a video game character. Like, we're not seeing Goku in Smash Bros. Despite what people on Twitter say.
I could see Goku more than Mortal Kombat. I just don't see Scorpion lighting somebody on fire or using a spear to, bring somebody, or Ice-Zero or Sub-Zero, icing somebody and then ripping their head off.
Well, obviously they won't be as gruesome as that. All the characters, in Smash Bros. Got toned down. For example, Bayonetta, you don't see bullet holes in Pikachu or something. They could try to make it friendly. I don't know, like Scorpion's grappling hook could easily be like similar to Link's grappling hook. I don't know, just something Smash Bros. Related would be interesting to see. So, what would be your final prediction? Well, before you finish what you were saying.
That's what I was saying. Mega Man has a huge following, I still think. No, it does, because I'm a huge Mega Man fan, so I'm always checking out that stuff. If they introduce Proto Man or Bass, I'm telling you, people would flip their shit.
People would, but I think it would be even cooler maybe to have either a new Mega Man 11 character, or maybe an X character. Like, throw in Zero, take his Marvel vs. Capcom moveset, call it a day.
Even if they added X, Zero, and like Bass or Proto Man, that would just be cool. What I'm saying is, I think Capcom would want more interest in the Mega Man brand, so I could see them adding their character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But my final prediction, I guess, I would have to say, honestly, I think they would have to be something hardware related, whether it's new Joy-Cons or they'll announce like the new dock, or longer uploads, longer video capture, or something of that magnitude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see new Joy-Con colors being mentioned because Nintendo of Canada recently put out that soon you're going to be able to pre-order the Splatoon green and purple Joy-Cons, and those were only exclusive to system bundles. So maybe we could get some new colors, maybe some, instead of just plain colors, maybe we get some skins for Joy-Cons, maybe a Zelda themed skin, a Mario themed skin Joy-Con.
Right, that would make sense.
Or maybe even a system bundle, Bayonetta, maybe a Bayonetta edition, Bayonetta related bundle for the Switch, you know, comes with Bayonetta 1 and 2. Maybe I don't expect a price cut, but maybe a bundle with, let's say, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Super Mario Odyssey, have that in a bundle.
Happening.
So Nintendo has done really well with the Switch in its first year, and we're finally, it's almost the 12th to 11th. That's when people are thinking the Direct's going to happen. That would make it about a year since the Switch was revealed, and I feel like they want to keep the steam chugging as it is, because we already got the 3D Mario, the 3D Zelda out of the way, that they're going to need to bring some big titles. Like, we didn't mention Pokemon at all, because I feel like Pokemon's not coming to 2019, based on how they just released Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So I feel like for this year, we're going to need a little bit more than Kirby and Yoshi. Hopefully the Metroid 4 2018 is true, because I feel like that's a big title that could get people to buy Switch consoles. And we'll just have to see whatever Nintendo has under its pocket. Maybe it has some new IPs they would want to show off during the Direct. Who knows? Well, guys, I have been Cybershoom with Gregorthegame. Greg, do you want to say anything before we close out?
Sure, I enjoyed another collab. Hopefully we can knock these out every weekend. I thank you for having me on the channel. Make sure you guys check out my channel. I really appreciate it. Gregorthegame, Gregor, the game.
I'll have,
Dragon Ball Super, Mega Man, Kingdom Hearts, and stuff like that with Cybershroom on both of our channels. So make sure you guys check those out. And thanks again to Cybershroom for having me on the channel.
I'll have a link for his channel in the description below. Well, guys, I have been Cybershoom, and as always, I hope you have a good one.